Hello and welcome to the Lucrative Landlord. This is a casual and unrehearsed evaluation of real estate investment property. No representation to buy or sell any property is being made. This evaluation is for educational purposes. No bids are offered and all numbers are estimates. To receive weekly updates and property evaluations, please visit and subscribe at lucrativelandlord.com.
Greetings, welcome back. My name is Robert, and this is the Lucrative Landlord. I've got another property to review today. This one kind of surprised me. It's a sixplex. It's completely redone, gutted down to the bare studs. Recently, they've been working on it for a number of years, but they recently just got it rent ready, finished it off, and then they immediately put it on the market. A couple of things surprised me about it. One of the biggest things is that their price tag, they're looking at $499,000 for this property. And it's kind of unique to have a property that's been completely redone. But as you can see, there are some capital expenditures that I've predicted. It is not entirely done. So I find it a little disappointing that they have such a high price tag for a property that is supposedly turnkey. But there are some immediate things that need to be considered on making this property current turnkey. But anyway, this was an interesting property, so I wanted to run you guys through it real quick. First of all, it's got some cosmetic issues right on the front, which are not reflective of the inside of the property. But that always just makes a property show really terribly when the sidewalk is decomposing. It probably 20 years ago needed to be replaced. This fence is kind of rusty and would need some paint and whatnot. They did do some proper stairs and fixed all of those portions of it. They slapped some paint on the woodwork detail here, but the brick really needs some repointing and repainting on it. I'll go through that in the spreadsheet on the numbers on what I think some costs are for that. But again, I was really disappointed that they didn't finish off these final things. The other one is the roof. It's got a roof that's at least 25 years old. It was a rolled out asphalt roof that they then put a rubber coating over the top of it. You know, I've seen these things last 10 years with those rubber coats. If you put another couple of coats on it every summer or spring or whatnot, you can definitely kind of stretch them along. But for a property in that $500,000 range, I expected a new roof on the property. And with that rubber stuff, it could fail at any time. And so it definitely needs a new roof put on it. Here we go into the inside. The units are small on the inside. They are a proper one bedroom. There's a bedroom behind there's a kitchen and a bathroom behind me, and then in this photo, and then there is a small bedroom. Nothing exciting. It seems like a pretty typical remodel on the inside. There's no historic stuff to it, other than maybe the over outlay of these bay windows and whatnot. But everything's super modern on the inside. Here's turning around, looking through. This is a small closet area. This is the door to the bathroom, and then you're looking at the kitchen. Kitchens aren't very fancy. I think these are kind of some IKEA cabinet specials, a really small stove, no hood. All the windows have been replaced in the property, and all the appliances are new and that sort of thing, but not very exciting as far as a space. Again, from another angle. And then, I thought I had one of the bedroom. The bedroom was about a little bit smaller than the front living room there. Then there's a closet. The biggest problem with the closet is that it's not a very big closet. And then there's an electric hot water heater in the closet. So it really gives you about 24 inches of closet space, about the width of the door when you open the door, and then just kind of frustrating to have a hot water heater staring at you right in your bedroom. Let's jump over to the numbers. So again, they're looking at a $500,000 price tag. I figure between the painting of the front, kind of fixing up the last things on the porch, and the concrete sidewalk and the roof, I think you're looking at about $36,000. Again, these numbers are just rough estimates, back of the napkin sort of thing. If this is something that you're pursuing, definitely meet with a contractor and get proper bids. But I'm just trying to get an idea of whether or not this property is even close to looking at. We need to run into our incomes. I don't like this market rent 650. They were originally trying to get 650 for them. They're kind of small for 650. They're on electric baseboard heat, which isn't the most cost efficient heat. Tends to chase tenants away, but they are clean. They are fairly well laid out and new and that sort of thing. They did not hit their market. At the time that I walked through the property, 5 of the 6 units were filled, and they had only rented them at $575. So that does kind of change this number out quite a bit. But you're looking at a big chunk of income every month or annually coming in. The numbers on this aren't terrible on the income side. If we jump over to the depreciation schedule. So this gets a little interesting because I don't often see properties that are where everything is new, right? You can see the ages on these are really low. I was actually messing around with these numbers a little bit. Some of these 12s really need to be 1s. Sorry about that. But you get the roof. I figure you're looking at a $20,000-$25,000 roof. It's urgently needed. And same thing with the exterior. It could really show a lot better. You're going to attract better tenants. Tenants are going to be willing to look at the property because the inside is not what you would expect based on the outside. And most tenants, they get an address, they understand the properties for rent, and they drive by it. And I think a lot of people would just continue to drive on by, not understanding what it looks like on the inside. And then the concrete needs quite a bit of work as well. So you get this monthly depreciation number. You're looking at $720 a month in physical depreciation. Again, that number is a little bit high just because these 12s are in here where it should really be 1s, but that number is pretty accurate. Jump up to my thing here. So one of the problems was I feel that the user fees on the taxes were pretty darn accurate based on being a 6-plex. One of the things I did catch is that it was taxed at a 1.35 rate, which is the residential rate. It's a commercial property because it's over 5 units. So at some point, the tax assessor is going to get that figured out and wind up bumping up the tax rate. Additionally, it was, the property sold. I happen to know that it sold for around $38,000. The tax assessor had the property valued at $41,000. When this property sells for $499,000, there's going to be a significant tax jump on this. We could run through how to calculate that. If you visit lucrativelandlord.com, there's a blog post on how to calculate out what your future taxable obligations are going to be as you purchase these properties, as you put, in something that takes a permit, a roof, that sort of thing. You put in a water line. The tax assessor does come out and reassess the property and will eventually correct it. And even if this property is worth $499,000, I don't know. But I do know that it's worth a lot more than $41,000. So a reassessment on this property is certainly due, and the taxes are going to jump up quite a bit. This is what I calculated it out to be based on that $499,000. This is monthly. Additionally, you're looking at a commercial insurance policy. This number might be a little bit high. This one's a true guess. The property taxes I calculated out, I feel that number is pretty darn close. Insurance is really just a guess. 6-plex, water, bunch of units, you're probably looking at about $75 a month in water. Same thing with snow removal, that sort of thing. Management, vacancy, those are self-explanatory. Again, you can jump down here into this monthly depreciation number. Look at our blog post on the Lucrative Landlord about what this monthly depreciation really means. Just because you put in a new washer, dryer, hot water heater, they have a limited lifetime, and that number needs to be calculated out of what a hot water heater costs you on a monthly basis, because they don't last forever, and so you need to be factoring that into your expenses. Gives us a monthly expense of about $3,000. That does not include the mortgage payment. I didn't calculate that out in here because it's such a personal thing based on people's different finances and what is available to them money-wise. But keep that in mind that this number is not including the mortgage in the whole thing. So let's jump over to the summary. Where is the summary? There it was. Sorry, I don't like how this thing kind of pops out. It's hard to tell where we're at when I'm looking at the screen sharing thing. There we go. So we're looking at, on a monthly basis, almost $3,900 in income, and another expenses being about $2,900, not including the mortgage. I strongly suspect that the mortgage on $499,000 is going to be a lot more than the $1,000 difference. So this is probably not an ideal situation for the average investor, but again, it's up to you guys. I think that's about everything I have to say about this property. If you have any questions, do feel free to hit us up at the lucrativelandlord.com and subscribe for any future updates. Thanks. Have a great day.